Are you accidentally setting your kid up for financial failure? In today's world, where they don't teach any financial education in schools, it is our duty as parents to teach our kids how to earn money, how to save money, how to give money, how to spend money, and most importantly, how to grow money. And today in this video, I'm going to show you a couple of the tools that I use for my kids. Hopefully, it can inspire you. There'll be a couple links down below if you're interested in it. To start it out, we're going to talk about the Greenlight card. There's a couple cards out there that do something similar to Greenlight, but for me, Greenlight was the easiest because it automated everything for me. There's also a Capital One card for teens that doesn't have the same fee structure as Greenlight. But what I found with Greenlight was the automatic piece of it was where I was falling down. Having it automatically deposit money every week into their allowance gives them that ability to project, budget, and figure things out. And this is the Greenlight website. You can customize this card. You can get your kid's picture on there for like $5 each card. And it's cool when they're little, but when they get older, they're going to want that little kid picture removed, or they're going to just move to Apple Pay probably. But you can do assigned chores and pay them per chore, or you can put in a weekly allowance and it'll do it automatically. There's the invest option. I don't use this anymore. I've used it in the past. The send money is probably the most common one I use, especially if my kids are out or somebody picked them up after school or something, and I need to get them some money. I can pay for their dinner and they can pay for it, and I can put it back in. Greenlight is accepted anywhere MasterCard is accepted, so that's really awesome. This is kind of what it looked like. You see the picture, you see how it's broken up. Here's some reviews. A lot of things on here I don't necessarily use, but in general, some of the plans, we'll just kind of break those out. I actually do the core plan. That's all I need. You can use the Max or Infinity and the Family Shield. One of these has like phone protection and a whole bunch of other stuff, but for the most part, for me, the core was just enough at $6 a month. Not terrible. That got me both cards. I think you can do up to 5 cards for that amount, and it's pretty standard setup how it all works. You see the other tiers here. Family location. I mean, we use Life 360, right? So there's a lot of like overlap on some of these things here. Suspicious activity, much more. But a little bit more about Greenlight. You can give it as a subscription if you got grandkids and you want to get them started. I do think that it's something you want to set up. It is nice. You can send money directly to your kids, kind of like Zelle. Um, Parents can send stuff. Grandkid parents can send stuff. You can always change your plan later. Again, I had the higher level and I broke it down to the smaller level, to the core level, and I've been on the core level for a long time now. And what I really like about Greenlight is the easy dashboard. The way they have it set up, it's super easy. Everything's automated. I can send money in and out. I can transfer between their general and their savings. They also automatically force it into buckets that you pick. So how we do it at my house, my kids get $1 for every year they are. If they're 12 years old, they get $12. If they're 15, they get $15 a week. We then take that money and we figure out how much they're going to invest in their M1 account, which I'll talk about that next. Most of the time, my kids invest $2 to $3 a week into their investment. That's what we were doing through Greenlight. That's the only piece that's a little clunky because now I'm talking about 2 different systems with Greenlight and M1. When it was all under Greenlight, it was great, but it was just another thing that I had to file a tax form on. It was another thing that I had to just work through, and it wasn't worth it. We used M1. Every quarter, we talk about how much money they're going to invest that quarter, and we pick their stocks together. I really don't influence them one way or another. They've made some really great calls, and they made some really bad calls. What I found in having the conversations with my kids is sometimes they will be way ahead of me on something. Like a couple of years ago, they were way ahead of me on Crocs. I thought Crocs were done. My kids were like, no, we need to invest in Crocs. Then I started noticing every kid having Crocs. That stock blew up. They've also made some really bad choices just based off things they like. It's important that I let them win and experience loss as I'm trying to teach them the value of the dollar. But what I really like is just the ability for them to have a dashboard on an app as well, that they can see everything on that dashboard. They can see what their spend is, what their savings is, and they can see what they've spent money on. It'll give a transaction. It gives me a real-time notification when they spend money. And if they go to move money from savings to spending, I have to actually approve it. I really like Greenlight. Again, there are some competitors out there with lower fees. I think you should check them out, but I think you should also look into Greenlight. But let's look at M1 Finance now. This is the M1 Finance website. You've seen this before in my previous video where I'm actually using this to pit my dividend portfolio against the rental property. But they do have a custodial option here. So I have custodial accounts for both of my kids. Custodial accounts are yours to control until the kids are 18 to 25, depending on the state. But What I love about M1 is it doesn't feel like gambling. It doesn't feel like swiping to make it happen. It actually, you create pies and you set up what you want to allocate. So you build out a portfolio. It equals 100% of a pie. If it's 5% towards Tesla and 5% towards Nvidia or whatever you're into, it actually will allocate. If you put $100 in, it's going to put $5 towards each one of those. I really think that starting a custodial account for your kid now is a really good move. I love the fact that with M1, you can just simply create the pie and deposit your money, and it automatically does it. If you have dividends that pay out, you can set the automatic invest, so you don't even really have to look at it again. I look at mine with my kids every quarter, and we go over what they're doing. We see if they want to change something or if they want to keep it where it is. Because it's a custodial account, you're still responsible for the taxes on it. And before we go on to the ultimate wealth builder for your kids, please take a moment just to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. It would mean the world to me. The ultimate wealth builder, if your kids qualify, is a Roth IRA. Your kids have to have earned income. So an allowance doesn't work. But if you had a family business, or maybe they're babysitting or mowing yards, you just need the earned income. I would love to hear what you guys are doing for your kids. If you have other ideas or things you want me to cover, or if you have other suggestions, I would love to research. I would love to leave our kids in a better financial situation than we started. I think that's our duty as parents. Hopefully you got something out of this. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. We're going to do great things.